How you going, guys? So welcome back to NZ Marko at Kustoms. So, a bit of a different video here today. The video, CPU upgrade on the computer is what I'm going to do today. Just going to give you a quick little reason why. So obviously doing YouTube, you need horsepower to render videos when you're putting together big clips. So I built a computer in 2018, which was a 2200G, 16 gigs of RAM, at pretty decent speeds. M.2 on a B450 motherboard with a couple of hard drives in it and whatever. Some of it was second hand, some of it was new. And it was a hell of an upgrade from the laptop I had before that, which was I bought in 2015. So it was about 2018 or 19 when I bought that computer. It was just after the Ryzen second gen had dropped. Well, whenever that 2200G came out, but about the second generation it just dropped. I started looking before when the first generation was out, but they hadn't dropped the second generation. I started looking at building one then, because it was taking 3 hours to render like a 10 or 15, 20 minute clip on the old laptop at the time. And it took about 20 minutes, about 25 minutes to do a 20-minute clip thereabouts. On the new computer, I was like, far right, that's way better. I can handle that. But now I'm doing car show videos on 4K high res. So I don't mind hanging around for the videos I'm doing now, like the hour-long videos. It takes about, so like for about an hour-ish long video, hour and 55 minutes. We're talking about an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes. It's a long time, but it's not that bad to put up with. I can put up with it doing 1080p, what I'm doing now. But the 4K stuff is just crazy. I actually mistakenly did a video the other day and set the output on. I still had the output set on 4K from doing one of the car show clips or that truck show. I still had it set on 4K for just the next video for this stuff. And it was like I walked away and done some stuff for a while around home, and then we went away and did a couple of messages and come back, and I was like, why the hell is that thing only on 20%? It should be finished. And I realised it was on 4K output. I was like, well, fuck, if that's how long it takes to do 20%, I said we need to do something with the computer. I'd put a GPU in it when I built that rat rod case in 2020, or about that same time. So yeah, I just ordered a 5700X and a tag cooler. So we're going from a 2200G with a GPU now, but to a 5700X. So the GPU is a 1660 Super 6 gig. So I think the GPU and the RAM will be at the limiting factor now. So it should be a hell of a leap in time saving. It'll just mean that I can probably set a video to render, come back hopefully 10-15 minutes later after having a coffee and a fart and whatever, go to the toilet or whatever, and it should be done. And I should actually sit down and watch the video and double check it before I put it out. At the moment I don't, because I just run out of time because it takes so long. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing the upgrade. So I'm going to bang together a quick clip when the stuff arrives. So hopefully in the next couple of days that stuff should be here. I'm going to bang together a quick clip, render it on the 2200G. I'll show you that, and it'll be probably time lapsed, but I'll show you that. Probably I'm going to do about a 10 or 15 minute video with a few cuts and bits and pieces in it, and a bit of text and shit. So there's a few layers. Render that, and then I'll change the CPU and all that sort of shit over, and then I'll run it again. I want to see how much faster it is. So that's what this video is going to be about. So we'll see it when the stuff arrives and I'm doing the edit. Righty guys, so just going into my computer, I'm just doing a bit of a voiceover. So just to go under here to show you that the computer is a 2200G on the CPU. Hopefully you can see that right. And then I'm about to go and just start setting up the clip for the rendering. I think, yep. So we're going in there into Hitfilm Express is what I use for my video editing. So just doing a quick rough setup here. And go and select just a few random clips. Me intro for a start off, just like I would normally do. And then, what else we're getting here? Trying to remember, it's been a couple of days since I actually did the footage. I'm just grabbing a couple, 3 extra clips here, 4 clips, throw in the mix. So I drag all that onto the timeline. Just waiting for it to load. So it's quite a few minutes of footage here. So I chop some of it up. I'm not doing anything here, like I'm not going through the footage or anything. I'm just roughly chopping it up, speeding up a couple of bits and sections, and making a bit of a clip out of it. So I'll just set this on high speed, and then we'll come back to you when I'm rendering. Righty, so I'm just about to hit the render. So this clip is about 8 minutes long, about 8 minutes 20 something seconds, minutes long, somewhere around about there. I can't remember exactly. So yeah, we'll just hit render here, and I'll just put this on high speed so you can see it takes about 12 minutes to render, I think it is roughly. So yeah, we'll set this on high speed, and then we'll jump right into the next lot of footage, which will be after I've set up the computer for the 5700X. Yeah, so yeah, at the moment, so we're doing a rendering test on the old CPU at the moment. I'll do some voiceovers later on, but we're almost finished. We about 11 minutes in, and we've probably got about a minute left to do about an 8.5, almost, yeah, about an 8-minute 40 seconds video. Just a clip with a few random bits. I just sort of just randomly chopped up something, did a couple of little speed up bits, threw a bit of music on it, and a bit of text and an overlay, and obviously start and ending. I just threw something together. It's nothing in particular. I just threw a few clips from what I've been doing together. So we're just about finished here now. You can see. Project. Test. That. Alrighty, so at the moment I'm updating the BIOS and the motherboard to accept the new CPU, so I've still got the old stuff in there. I've got the front of my computer, so I'm just doing the update on that, changing the BIOS, so yeah, the new CPU will run because that board was never come with, well, that board was built way before that CPU ever came out. So you got to update basically the firmware on the actual motherboard. If you don't know what it's down with the motherboard, it's the assume you had a little bit. It's the piece that everything plugs into, apart from obviously the power supply, but all the components and bits and pieces all hook onto that silver board. So it's called the motherboard. So yeah, I'm just updating all the firmware on that to accept the 5700X. So yeah, we're going from 4-core, 4-thread, 2200G, which basically I think Zen 1 or Zen 1 Plus, whatever it is, to basically the last of the CPUs that can go on that. It's not the biggest, but it's fairly well up there. There's 2 or 3 CPUs above that one, but yeah, it's one that's basically the same, just a bit bigger, and then they've got one that's got 3D cache, which is still basically the same, if you know what I mean. And then they've got a 12-core one and a 16-core, so that's an 8-core, 16 threads, whereas the 16 cores and 32 threads. So it's quite a bit more powerful, but this is light years ahead of what I've had. So this is the CPU here, cooler at night. Just the new CPU there, Ryzen 2700X, and the cooler, instead of just the old Wraith Stealth or whatever it is, Spire Stealth, whatever, can't remember. And that's, I don't know, whatever this thermal paste is. I've got some stuff that I've had from a while. If that's no good, yeah, I've got the thermal paste that come with the cooler, but it's only in a little pack, it's not in a tube. So almost updated that BIOS, what are we, 89%, 90%, so it's cool. This stage of is going to plan. So yeah, I don't know if this BIOS update will recognise my old CPU. Oh, it must do. That's good. I've actually been playing with the CPU, so you can see the time differences. So you can see that's all the same clip. That was when I first did it on the old CPU. This is me playing with it, because I've got it down to 3 minutes and 31 seconds. When I first put it in, just running at stock speeds on the CPU, was just on 4 minutes. Now we're basically 3.5-ish. So that's pretty good. That's quite a time saving, especially over a big file. So we're now we're not quite 4 times as quick to render. So instead of being an hour, we're going to be about 20 odd minutes, or a bit more. So that's quite an improvement. Alrighty guys, so it's Monday. So I did a lot of the stuff Friday. Had, away over the weekend, rendered a couple of other videos. It's been a hell of an upgrade going to the 5700X from the 2200G. When I originally bought the computer, I didn't have a GPU, like I said earlier on. I added that in 2020, I think. Might have been early 2020 or mid 2020. Because I knew I wanted to add a better CPU. It just took me a while to get there. But yeah, done a couple of videos, done a 4K one at from the car show at the weekend, about 45 minutes long. That took about an hour-ish, which was pretty good. Before that, it would have been a good couple of 3 hours at least. And now I did a 1080p video this morning, finished editing one of them about 7 o'clock this morning. It was done in about 20 minutes, way before I even went to work this morning. So awesome. Yeah, I couldn't used to do that. You know, I would wait until I'd come home later on and then let it render. But yeah, like I can be up in the morning and yeah, just as long as I got it ready. If I got a spare 20 minutes, I just can render it. It's done before I go. And yeah, it's good. So it makes a hell of a difference. You know, I can double check it when I come home at lunchtime, have a quick look through, make sure I'm happy with the footage, and then throw it up on YouTube. So it's been awesome. So far, it's saved me quite a lot of time. Loading footage is way faster to the timeline. I can drag about 4 hours of footage on there, and it doesn't even blink an eye. It just, and it's loaded, ready to go. Because before, if I pulled that sort of amount of footage across, I might have to sit there for 5 minutes and wait till it all loaded onto the program. Yeah, but now it's instantaneous. I did a couple of videos through Handbrake too to convert them from the car show. Every now and again, weird. Sometimes in the 4K it just won't transfer to this. You get the odd clip that won't, even though it's been filmed in the same setting. That's weird. So I've had to flip a couple through Handbrake, and that's really quick too. It's a couple of 3 minutes, depending on obviously how long the clip is, but bangs them through pretty fast. So I'm really happy with the 5700X. So far it's been great. I'd love to do a bit of an upgrade with some RAM at some point. Jump to 36 or more if I can. I think with the with a couple of BIOS updates recently, I think I only used to put 64 on it, and now I can put 128 gigs of RAM on that board now. That might have been updated there quite a while ago. But yeah, I noticed when I was looking for the BIOS, it said that I could go to 128, which I'm pretty sure originally, on the box it says I can only do 64. So yeah, that's been updated, so that's awesome too with some of those B450s. You don't need freaking. It could be handy, you know, to have a few more slots to plug drives in and stuff like that. But you know, with a couple of expansion cards, it's not hard to plug a few extra drives in. At some point, I'll get rid of some of the smaller ones and get a few more bigger ones for footage, because man, you use drives quick doing this stuff. Anyway, catch you later on. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I would highly recommend, if you're on one of these earlier CPUs, definitely worth, and you're doing video editing, you know, on a budget. I would highly recommend, you know, probably the 5700X, or if you can afford a few extra dollars, jump onto one of the bigger ones. You know, the was it 5900 or whatever, X the 12 core or the 16 core. Like, I would love one of those, but yeah, it's not quite my price range. Maybe, you know, that might be something I might be able to do, you know, in a year's time or something like that. I might strike a good deal on a second hand one or something like that, and jump up to, you know, the 16 core or something like that. If the board will handle it, but should be alright. But you know, like, I'm not overclocking them. I've tweaked it a little bit. I've got it running at 47, I think 4750 gigahertz. I think it's normal max boost is 4.6. I got it running at 4750. Doesn't seem to worry it. Actually, when I put it in, I hooked up Ryzen Master, and I put it through. It's got just a test function. It just runs the CPU for about half an hour and just finds out what it will run at stable. And yeah, it was 4750. Probably could push it to more if you really wanted to, but it said that was a pretty stable overclock. So I wound it to that and hasn't missed a beat yet, so yeah, we'll just keep plugging along and see how she goes. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Cheers.